Good evening, all. It is 5:26 on this last day of the month of July, the 31st. And this is your closing comment. It is video number 1854 for this Monday afternoon. Okay, so markets were a little on the wishy washy side, but considering how far they've come, that's not really terribly surprising. The Dow was up just over 100, Nasdaq up just under 30, S&P up 673. So those are all a quarter of a percent or less. The big move today, again, was the Russell up 2164 or 1.09%, and the transports were down. And we'll get to that in a second. Um, Market internals were strong, 5 to 2 up on the NYSE and 1.6 to 1 up on the Nasdaq. Volume increased again, 4.9 billion. So this is actually fairly heavy for midsummer. Okay, so let's start with what we had a trade in. Um, we sold some Sofi calls that cost about 70 to 80 cents, and the stock beat this morning and gave solid guidance. Pre-market, it was 1044, up pretty solidly. That was up almost a dollar. But it actually got as high as 1170. And when it was about 1130, 1140, we sold those calls at $1.68. So well over a double. The stock closed 1145, up 190 or 20%. This afternoon, we had a bunch of earnings. ZI, which is Zoom Technologies, not the Zoom for work from home. They had inline revenues and a slight beat in earnings, but they also gave lower guidance. The stock was 30 a couple of days ago. Coming into the day today, it had closed at 25.57. The high for the day was 21, or the last for the day was 21.23, and the low was 18 and a half. So it was down pretty hard. It closed down 454 or 18%. Arista Networks with a beat, top and bottom line, and good guidance. Um, it actually closed at 155.09, which was up 4, but then traded as high as 173.96. Last 168.81, up 17.72 or 11 and a half. APLS. This is one that I've talked about pretty continuously since about a week and a half ago, when the stock came down from 87 and closed yesterday at 32.02. They beat top and bottom, and the stock was up initially. Pre-market, it was up 4, but something happened in between pre-market. I think somebody was talking about a security fraud issue, but you just never can tell, because there are so many firms that are kind of ambulance chasers that they call, stock fraud for anything that they see and put together class actions. In any event, after being 36 and change up 4, the high for the day in the real world was only 31 and a half, which was a down opening of about 52 cents. It traded down to 24.97. The last was 25.99, down 603 or 19%. Johnson and Johnson had some bad news that their bankruptcy, their second try at bankrupting for the talc ovarian cancer class action was denied again. Stock closed 167.33, down 695. Um, Chevron was upgraded. Stock closed 163.66, up 479, or 3%. So now we get to the two stars of the day, or, normally I would call them the disaster du jour, but they're anything but. Um, Transports, as I said, were the big loser, down about $79. Yellow Freight, the symbol is YELL. Yellow Freight has been talking about trying to sell itself. The stock has been reversed twice. Once, one for 25, and a second time, more recently, one for 300. So that gives this stock, which closed at $1.76 today, an adjusted high of $483,525. This goes in the Hall of Fame for equity destruction. Um, so the stock had been as low as 42 cents, but closed around 71 cents. They announced their bankruptcy, and the stock had a low today of 79 and a high of $1.98 and a close of 176, up $1.05, or 150%. Um, Normally, this is where I give you a warning to absolutely not trade it. So I'm going to take both sides of the coin today. Don't trade it. There's not going to be anything left. On the other hand, because this is such a big company and because they handle so much, I would not be surprised if somebody came in to buy pieces of the company, which means that normally, as in the next one I'll tell you about, normally there'd be nothing left for the shareholders. But in this case, um, if they can interest anyone in, let's say, their logistics business, then maybe there's something left over. But regardless, you know how I feel about trading bankrupt companies. You only lose 100% of your money about 95% of the time. Which brings up the second one. Tupperware. We talked about this last week with a high of $97.14 back in 2014, although this one never reversed. So it's a true number. This stock was Friday the 11th, so not last Friday, but the Friday before, it made a new low at 71 cents. So 97 to 71 cents. Um, Today it had a high of 479 and a low of 312 and closed at 427, up $1.19, or 39%. This one I have no issue giving you the warning. Watch out, because this one's going to have nothing left. It may sell its intellectual properties and the name like Bed Bath and Beyond did, but it didn't help Bed Bath and Beyond. And anybody who's interested in that can just wait until the bankruptcy's over and buy it from the court for pennies on the dollar. Okay, so we're in the earnings season tomorrow before the open. We have Arconic, BP, Caterpillar, JetBlue, Kenemet, um, Marriott, Melco, which is Melco Entertainment, which is a gaming company, Pfizer, Sage Therapeutics, and Uber. After the close, we have AMD, Boston Properties, CHK, Devon, Exact Science, Lumen, which I just put in there because I'm interested in seeing what they do with it, Starbucks, SFM, and Unum. Chart on the screen is the oil, and as you can see, another higher high, higher low, got up to just 82 exactly, closed 81.80, and that was up 1.5% or $1.22. Nat gas was basically unchanged. Gold was up 930. Silver, as I said in last night's letter, was going to have a catch up day, and that's what it did. Where gold was up less than 1%, the silver was up more like just short of 2%. Bitcoin down 250, the dollar up 23 ticks, and the bonds up just under a quarter of a point. So there you have it. I'll be back first thing in the morning. And, we also bought some Aspen Technologies options today. I don't know if everyone got filled, but we bought them at $1.15, and they closed at $1.45. So a little bit of a cushion there. All right, folks, have a good one. I'll be back in the morning.